Did you not tell us to be here by 8 o'clock?
Yes.
It's 8 o'clock. Are we not here?
It's your finger on it. Misrepresented yourself.
You are the devil.
As we all know, the season of Real Housewives of Potomac just started, and boy, has it been good. And one of the girls that's been really catching my eye is our good girl, Stacey Rusch. From the way she's been navigating all the OGs from Ashley to Giselle to Wendy, I have a lot to say about this newbie, and I am obsessed with her. So I just started watching the newest season of Real Housewives of Potomac. I have always been obsessed with this show. Now, this was always my lane, not Zeus, not baddies, but the Real Housewives, that's something I've always been into. And one of the women that I've been totally obsessed with is one of the newest cast members, Stacey Rusch. My girl Stacy is playing chess in a room full of checker players. In today's video, we're going to be breaking down exactly how she's doing that and what can we learn from this. Because no matter how much the cast wants to make us hate her, Stacy is that girl. And I'm going to talk about how she is. I think the audience is loving her. If we check Twitter, if we check TikTok, if we check all the social media platforms, everyone is raving about Stacy. And I think the little storylines that the original cast members are trying to make regarding Stacy, we're not here for, we don't care about it, and it doesn't matter because Stacy is her at the end of the day. And with that being said, today's video is going to be a feminine analyst on the psychology of Stacey Rusch. While others are chasing moments, Stacy builds strategy. Every smile, every pause, every glance is deliberate. She isn't reacting to the board, she's reacting to the cast. She's controlling her narrative. And that is what makes her so fascinating. Through the lens of feminine psychology, Stacey Rusch becomes a case study in grace as power, composure as strategy, and emotional intelligence as survival. She represents the evolved archetype of the modern housewife. She's educated, she's elegant, and deeply self-aware. She uses femininity not as performance, but as persuasion. And who is she trying to persuade? I think she's trying to persuade the audience. In a cast that often confuses loudness, doing the most, causing a lot of drama for leadership, Stacy proves that quiet confidence can be the sharpest weapon. She's the woman who reminds us that you can be soft and still be in control, and that you can win without raising your voice. Hi, I'm Queenie if you're new here, and I make content about femininity and breakdowns on how femininity shows up in culture. If you like this type of content, be sure to thumbs up this video and to subscribe to the channel for more. The question we're trying to answer here is, how does Stacy use grace, self-control, and feminine intelligence to navigate conflict and the power dynamics of the Real Housewives of Potomac? And what does this reveal about modern femininity as strategy rather than weakness? So before we dive in, make sure to grab your tea, grab your coffee, and grab your water because we're about to get into it.
And I'm bad like the Barbie. I'm a doll, but I still wanna party. Pink felt like I'm ready to bend. I'm a 10, so I pull in a 10.
So first I wanted to get into her background. I had to do a lot of research because there isn't much about Stacy online. Actually, she doesn't even have a Wikipedia page yet, which is crazy. So I had to do real research to find out more information about her. Meaning I had to look her up on LinkedIn. I had to look her up on a lot of different platforms and basically navigate multiple interviews and articles and cultivate the information of her story. Once I did that, I was able to then assess how her life and her upbringing allows her to navigate the Real Housewives of Potomac so smoothly compared to the other ladies on the show. Because if we look at the other ladies, let's say Candace, for example, let's say Monique, for example, let's say Wendy, for example, these girls' feathers were able to be riled up really quick by the original cast within the first few episodes of their debut. Stacy is a little different though. The girls have a formula in Real Housewives of Potomac, meaning they're going to bully the new girl and see where she stands amongst the group. Is she going to be with one side of the group or another side of the group? Does she stand for anything or will she fall for anything?
You are a full-grown woman who came into this group and misrepresented yourself.
Devil. Get your finger out of
Misrepresented.
Hand this to Stacey when she get here.
What is it?
Man,
Sometimes your breath can be a little on the hot side.
Wow.
And I think the way Stacy is navigating all of this is just chef kiss compared to most of the other ladies. She's staying consistent in her narrative. She's staying consistent in her beliefs, and she's not being pushed or bullied into whatever these women think they're going to push onto her. She is someone who had background and knowledge in not only what she's doing in television and in overall discipline. And I can just tell this by how she's navigating these spaces. In relation, these girls are trying to trick her up on national TV and she's not here for it. And I want to break that down today. So let's dive into the making of an elegant woman. Stacey Rusch was born on April 5th, 1985 in Detroit, Michigan to a Black American mother who she just recently discovered has Nigerian roots. After losing her father at a young age, she was raised by her mother in a household grounded in strength, education, and discipline. She studied in Germany at I'm going to mess this up because this school is very German. She studied in Germany at the Besuchakademie Mannheim Academy. Oh, Jesus, that was hard. Where she became fluent in German and met her future husband, Stacey Rusch, who is now a senior vice president at Aldi. The two married and have a daughter together named Arabella. And I wanted to bring this up because despite growing up in a single mother household in Detroit, she managed to make herself a little bit more international and broadened her cultural awareness by going to school in Germany. And that is the same place where she ended up meeting her husband, and they've been wed for the last 16 years. Stacey has lived in multiple countries and traveled to more than 50, giving her a cultured global perspective. Before joining the Real Housewives of Potomac, she built a respected career as a journalist and television host. She worked for Fox 5 Morning News, Good Morning Washington ABC, and Good Day DC, where she became known for her charm and clarity on screen. Later, she transitioned to QVC, where she hosted her own PM-styled show where the audience praised her for her professionalism, poise, and clear product knowledge. Eventually, Stacey chose to step away from primetime TV to prioritize her family, a move that reflects her values and self-awareness. Her career path reveals a pattern of discernment. She doesn't chase opportunities for attention. She chooses what aligns with her purpose. And that's not luck, that's strategy wrapped in femininity. Now, Stacey is a cast member on the Real Housewives of Potomac and the first woman in Virginia to create a cannabis brand, which, let's give a clap, because one thing I respect is a Black woman entrepreneur. So she's seen a niche in the market, which she spoke about in multiple interviews, and decided to move forward in that way. But the difference between her brand and another cast member, Happy Eddie, is that she decided that she wasn't going to reveal her brand onto the show. And that was a very strategic move that we see based on everything that's going on with Eddie and Wendy was very smart on her part. I'm not going to touch too much on what's going on with Wendy and Eddie, but just know I've been watching social media and I've been seeing the headlines and it's insane. Definitely nothing that I anticipated. And the fact that I watched the interview recently of Stacy talking about why she didn't want to take her brand to the platform of Real Housewives of Potomac just yet.
Aren't you trying to start your own, Happy Eddie? Oh, are you?
Huh?
Stacy?
Yeah.
No. Oh.
You don't know what I'm talking about?
Absolutely not.
When she comes out with Happy Stacy next season,
Stacy.
Don't be surprised.
Shows that this woman has been thinking in advance for a long time, because Wendy and Eddie just got arrested for something separate But of course, their business is being tied to that. I think the journalist in her, the TV person in her, smelled something fishy and knew that she needed to protect her brand before debuting it on this platform. Now we're going to go into Grace Under Fire. To watch Stacy on Real Housewives of Potomac is to witness emotional regulation in real time. While others play for reaction, Stacy plays for position. She's often described as calm and soft-spoken, but beneath that composure lies the discipline of a woman who has mastered the art of stillness. Her background as a vinyasa yoga instructor for high-profile clients, including the White House, NASA, and the CIA, trained her to breathe before she speaks and to find balance amid chaos. That's exactly what makes her such a fascinating presence on the show, especially a show built around conflict. When castmates attempt to bait her, example, Ashley, at her second bloom party, Stacy doesn't match chaos with chaos. She remains composed, grounded, and emotionally self-contained. That's not avoidance, that's mastery.
You are a full-grown woman who came into this group and misrepresented yourself.
Devil. Get your finger out
You
of my face.
misrepresented yourself.
You are the devil.
Her posture, tone, and word choice are intentional. She understands that losing control, even for a second, gives the opposition power. This is what it looks like when a woman uses feminine restraint as psychological armor. Her calmness isn't passive, it's tactical. While others move impulsively, like the check players that they are, jumping at every opportunity of drama or just getting shocked and unheaved at the mere thought of drama being brought up around themselves and their family, Stacy is playing chess. Every move is thoughtful, every response is premeditated, and every silence is calculated, down to the walkout, as she has done consistently now on the show when these women are trying to play with her, specifically Ashley.
I have never been so offended in my life. Quite frankly, I'm embarrassed and I am offended. I'm leaving.
Femininity as strategy. Stacy's femininity is her strategy. Her presence is soothing but strong, polished yet grounded. She embodies the kind of quiet confidence that unsettles people who depend on noise to be noticed. Her fashion choices reflect the same intentional simplicity. Elevated but not loud, elegant without being performative, meaning she doesn't need to wear all the loudest logos on her to know that my sis is wealthy. I mean, if you Google it, Stacy's net worth is $4 million. She's married to the senior vice president of Audi. She doesn't have to show off for you guys. She's calm in who she is. She doesn't need to overstyle or overtalk. She's comfortable in her essence. That composure, both in how she dresses and how she speaks, commands respect. It attracts a love from the audience. No, seriously, we all love Stacy. She's what I'd call the housewife archetype in the purest form. She's family-centered, elegant, emotionally intelligent, self-contained, and naturally feminine. She's not performing the role, she is the role. Compared to the rest of these girls who are not only not married, but also do not embody what we thought Real Housewives of Potomac was going to give from season 1 to now. Handling the haters. What makes Stacy so intriguing is the contrast between how she's received by the fans versus the cast. Despite the cast's coldness and occasional attempts to exclude her, the audience adores her. And that's because we see what they don't, authenticity. Stacy doesn't need to prove herself through arguments or theatrics. Her grace speaks louder than their gossip, and fans connect with her because she represents the version of womanhood that often is dismissed in reality TV. Refined, calm, and self-poised, and self-possessed. She's the kind of woman whose stillness feels like a statement. I mean, even down to what happened with her and TJ. I think they're trying to edit the show in a way where we're judging Stacy for having TJ around. But all that situation showed us was who TJ was versus who Stacy is. We don't care about TJ. He is the weirdo. It was Stacy that we like, and it's Stacy who we're going to stick with. And I think as a consensus, as an audience, we're like, please get that weirdo out of here. Because if he was paid to be your partner on the show. He did a terrible job anyway, so he has to go. The cast might not understand her yet, but the audience does. To us, Stacy is everything. The embodiment of elegance, discipline, and quiet power. She's the truest definition of a housewife. The one who brings class to chaos and turns scrutiny into poise. And honestly, we don't care if the others don't like her. We love her precisely because she doesn't conform to their emotional pressure and their bullying. Stacy doesn't run to the noise, she runs on intention. Stacy doesn't let these women dictate the direction she's going to take her narrative. She maintains her story and walks away when these girls feel like they're going to bully her or back her into a corner. And with that being said, here are 6 lessons that we can learn from Stacey Rusch. 1. Elegance is emotional control. Power isn't loud, it is self-regulated. You do not have to do what these people think you are supposed to do. Be your own person. 2. Yoga is more than flexibility. It's emotional equilibrium. If we practiced more yoga collectively, we would be able to breathe before we respond. I'm really going to take that with me. Like, I want to get more into yoga because the way she's carrying herself, I want to learn. 3. Self-control can be practiced. Grace isn't something you're born with. It's something you train yourself to have daily. And it's not always easy. But if you're willing to do the work, you can teach yourself to be more composed. I do feel like her experience on national television, where she knows there's millions of eyes on her constantly, of not only when a camera is around, but also how she wants to act in front of that camera. She's literally trained herself to be poised on camera. And that training doesn't just leave just because she's on a new show. 4, you don't have to entertain anything you don't want to. Not every invitation deserves your presence, and not every comment deserves your energy. So next time somebody tries it with you, pull a Stacy and walk out.
So once you speak to your imaginary friend about
Who's very real.
her opinion
Who's very real.
and about these
About
documents, and then you
alleged
show
facts.
me, then we will rekindle our friendship.
Okay. Again, Stacey, can you take a pause?
Ready.
You love a walk-off.
Filming or not, walk out, girl. We don't care. You don't have to do anything that's going to take you out of character. 5, don't chase opportunities. Curate them. Everything that glitters isn't aligned. So once you reach a certain level, you're going to start attracting opportunities. And like Stacy, she doesn't allow every opportunity to reach her doorstep. Have boundaries and know that you don't have to chase anything. Opportunities will come your way. And it's important to be strategic on how you navigate those opportunities.
And when we filmed the reunion, I did not have a cannabis brand. The more we talked about it and the more Giselle made those accusations, I thought to myself, this must be a good idea if, Giselle is so rattled. So thanks, Giselle, for the inspiration, because now I'm the first Black woman in the state of Virginia to own her cannabis line. So thanks, Giselle.
6, play chess and not checkers. Don't move for reaction, move for purpose. These women want a little viral moment, and sometimes they get so full of emotion that they don't even realize that they're creating bad press for themselves. This power in moving with purpose and being intentional whenever you are faced with a large platform, whenever you are faced with an opportunity. In conclusion, Stacey Rusch is proof that power and poise can coexist. She's the quiet force that makes chaos look small. And a cast full of reaction and drama and basically bullying, she embodies reflection. While others are performing reality, Stacy is living femininity. She doesn't need to shout, scheme, or shade to leave an impression. Her energy does that for her. She reminds us that composure is a form of rebellion, and grace is its own kind of power. The way she handled the TJ situation, she could have dogged him. She could have badmouthed him. She could have done all those things. She chose the higher road to focus on herself and move forward. And that is a lesson that I'm going to take with me forever. And I think that other women should do the same. So Stacy isn't just surviving the housewife world. She's elevating it and bringing it to a new level. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye.
And I'm bad like the Barbie. I'm a doll, but I still wanna party. Pink felt like I'm ready to bend. I'm a 10,